What's up, beautiful people? Thank you so much for stopping by to the team. Brian, if you're new to our channel, consider subscribing by clicking on that red subscribe button. During yesterday's briefing at the Transcom buildings in Nairobi, the CS of Transport, James Macharia, announced that there won't be a mandatory quarantine for tourists coming into Kenya. That is what we want to discuss today in our video, guys.
We have put in place an inspection and certification process of ensuring that PSV operators observe the new protocol and guidelines issued by the Minister of Health. All passengers shall be exempt from quarantine on arrival at their destinations if their body temperatures is not above 37.5 degrees Celsius and they do not have a persistent cough, difficulty in breathing, and other flu-like symptoms. Only 50% of the total capacity. It also have an additional coach which shall be used to isolate passengers suspected to be infected with COVID-19.
You have heard it. That is according to the CS of Transport yesterday's briefing. All passengers coming into the country now are not subjected to the mandatory quarantine of 14 days to 28 days that was put before as a requirement and inside or in the facilities that were selected by the government. Actually, they were just hotels and they were really expensive, starting from $70 to $100. They costed $70 to $100 plus food and everything. You know, it's a big budget that you needed to quarantine yourself. So guys, before we go further, we want just to comment or just take a look on the requirement that were needed to travel in and out of the country. Remember, on the 1st of August, the president announced that there was, or the international flights are going to start on 15th of July. That is like a couple of days to come. The international, the domestic flights are going to begin their operation. So the requirement one that you need to fly out of Kenya is that you needed to do a test in a clinic, and the test costed 8,000 Kenyan shillings. But during coming into the country, that is international flights coming into the country, you need to present yourself a medical certificate showing that you are tested and proved a negative of the COVID-19. That was a requirement and it was needed at the check-in counter. So that was good news. That was good news because people were not having those budgets to quarantine themselves at the facilities and they were really expensive. So coming or the start of August, coming to the country, if you're not showing any symptoms, that is coughing, fever, any other symptoms of the COVID-19, so you're never going to quarantine yourself for 14 days unless you're showing these symptoms. Let's discuss about what is the impact of this decision. What's the impact? Remember, like every decision has an impact. For me, I believe it's not kind of good choice. It's not kind of good decision because remember, for the symptoms to show or for the signs, some people has mild symptoms, some people don't really show the signs, and for the COVID-19 sickness or virus to start showing off, it has to take 14 days. So there is a risk. There is a risk because people are flying from different destinations. There are countries that are badly hurt. Remember, like Kenya has been banned over 31 nations in the Europeans, like flying into. But flying in, like from China, from all these badly affected areas, is going to be a risk. Allowing these people to mingle around with other people in that they're not showing signs is really going to be risky. But I'm going to talk about, that's my opinion. That's really according to my opinion. Now let's discuss about the airlines that are expected to begin their operation into the country. Number one airline, of course, is the Kenya Airways. They have set the start. This is according to their CEO. Yes, listen, that is according to
I think Kenya Airways is very much ready to fly. We have been ready for some weeks now, ready to fly. We've done all the precautions, all the cleanliness, all the cleansing, all the necessary things that you need to do to safely fly. In accordance with international standards, IATA standards, IOSA standards, and we've done all those things, and so we are ready to fly.
The CEO. Yeah, they have set aside good measures, safety measures, modern technology to make sure that everybody flying in and out of the country is going to be safe. Number two airline that I'm going to recommend you, and if you are love of this airline, of course, is a good show. The Ethiopian Airlines, of course, also they're going to begin the operation in and out of the country. The Emirates and of course the Qatar Airways. And guys, the only airline that I'm going to recommend to you by now, that's according to my opinion, don't judge me, is the Qatar Airways. One, because they have maintained the the best safety standard to make sure that everybody flying into different destinations is going to be safe. Number 2 is their sanitization program. Number 3 is the kind of a screening they do at the airport to make sure that you're fit to travel. They have set aside clinics to isolate anybody who is going to show the signs of the COVID-19. So for me, if I was to fly out, Qatar Airways definitely was the best airline for me to fly out of the country with. Another thing that I'm going also to comment, guys, is that the prices, the ticket prices of the airlines is relatively expensive by the start of August. So the best time for you to book your flight is the middle of September. The middle of September, by then the prices tend to reduce down and become like because now the prices, the ticket prices are doubled, but come the first or the middle of September they're going to reduce down, and I believe if you don't have that much pressure to fly out, that is the best time to book your flight ticket. Guys, definitely we have talked a lot about it. It's a good news for everybody who are waiting, like people who are worried about the quarantine. Let's not judge everybody because people are not having that money to quarantine themselves, but for now, if you don't show any mild symptoms of the COVID-19, any coughing, sneezing, high temperature, you're going to be allowed to just move freely home, but they're going to track you down as you are going to various destinations. Like they're going to be in contact with you to make sure that you're doing well, you're faring on well until the 14 to 28 days lapse. Thank you guys again for stopping by to the team. Brian, if you're new to our channel, kindly subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button. My name is Brian. If you don't know me, now you know me. Thank you guys.